Hi, I'm Kate. What's your name?
My name's Gemma.
Wow, nice to meet you, Gemma. It feels like I've known you for a long time, though.
It does. Feels like I haven't seen you in a long time.
'Cause you haven't. But we're back with Talking Shit and a Yank and a Brit. Hi, everyone.
Good to be back. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in again. If you are, if you're not, then fine.
Fuck
you
off.
won't hear this.
We haven't died. We haven't joined a cult. We haven't disappeared into the ether. If you listen to our last little update episode on the podcast platform near you, you would recall that we were taking a little break because Gemma wanted to go on vacation and I needed to just keep living my boring ass life.
Well, should I tell you about this vacation in inverted commas?
Yes. I mean, I feel like you've been back for how long now? I got a little bit of a preview, but specifically was waiting for this moment to hear all about it.
Well, buckle in.
That's my seatbelt.
Good, thank you.
Click.
Okay, so it started well. We had an early flight, got to the airport, absolutely fine. Had to wait around for a few hours, as you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you've experienced Gatwick before in London.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get there, approximately 6 hours before your flight, but they don't tell you the gate until they're about to close the gate. And then you have to run 10 miles to the gate to get there.
And answer questions 3 from a troll.
Yes.
To pass. You don't need a passport. You just got to answer these riddles.
Yeah.
And luckily,
from a little leprechaun.
Yep. Luckily, you and Alan were equipped. You studied. Gatwick posts a little like, here's the possible topics for today.
Yeah. So we studied it up. We, thank God, answered the questions right. We're on the flight. Flight went fine.
What
Slept.
airline again?
EasyJet, mate.
Sleazy Jet, basically.
Sleazy Jet.
Yes, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, got there. It was beautiful. Everything was fine. I had a bit of a dicky belly.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes that happens when I fly. I think it's like the anticipation and the anxiousness of flying makes me have a bit of a...
Well, you're doing something very unnatural that God does not want us to be doing, so reasonably a little bit anxious.
You're about to willingly step into a tin can and go to 30,000 feet. So
with literally just a little click over your lap, you'll be fine.
You'll be all right. Don't worry. If something does go wrong, pop your little jacket on and the oxygen's going to come down from the ceiling and you'll be absolutely fine. Don't worry. Then they go, and if you hear, brace, brace, then you must brace.
Thankfully, I've never heard that on a flight yet. Knock on wood.
Thank God.
So you arrived in Greece, right?
We arrived in Corfu.
Okay.
Which is a little island off the Greek coast. It's fine. Our transfer was there. I had to run to the toilet because I urgently needed a poo. And that really pissed off our driver because he had another job, apparently.
Okay.
Travelled to the hotel, arrived, looked lovely, everything's sort of all white, and they were very nice. Let us we couldn't check in till that afternoon, but they said we could put our bags there and go by the pool, and lunch was about to start, and blah, blah, blah. So it's good. First few days, lovely. Went out for some dinner on the beach. We were like 5 minutes from the beach. Very nice. And it's gorgeous, the island. Like, it's all hilly and green and lush. It's like you're in a rainforest. It's
how big is it?
Very nice.
Could you walk
not very big?
Okay, so you could walk from one side to the other maybe in a matter of hours.
Well, you could, but because it's so hilly, it's like winding mountain roads. So
maybe not a couple hours, but if it were flat, yes.
It was an hour from the airport, which was west of us. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if it was flat roads, that would probably take you 15 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, we chilled out. We had a lovely day out in Corfu town, which is gorgeous. It's like proper,
Mamma mia.
authentic, like cobbled streets and old European
Lots of
town
cats.
vibes. There were lots of cats,
Mm.
yeah. Had a lovely day out there. But we kept hearing around the pool, there are other British people there, and they kept saying that, like, loads of people were getting ill at the hotel.
Oh, no.
So we were cautious of this because it was an all-inclusive hotel. So I was avoiding the meat anyway because I was like, I'm not getting food poisoning again.
But not just meat can give you food poisoning, right?
Well, all right. I didn't know that.
Okay.
So I was eating a lot of salad. And apparently that's one of the worst things.
No. Oh, I wish I had talked to you and you'd said something to me, because I'd be like, I'm pretty sure we have lots of E. coli recalls for like lettuce, spinach, all that shit.
I wish you had told me that.
Probably the meat would have been fine because that shit's cooked to the point to kill all that bacteria.
Well, yeah. Well, this is the thing. Like, the food was like
Meh.
meh. And it, even if so lunch started, I think it was like 12:30, and even if you went in bang on 12:30, the food was like lukewarm.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It was never came out hot.
Was
And so
it
you
like
don't
a
know,
buffet or a server?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
like a big buffet. And you could see them, like, they bring out the food like half an hour before
They got
you're
started.
actually allowed to, like,
Gross.
go in
Why?
there. So it's just sitting there getting gross. So anyway, I think it might have been the Wednesday.
Well, hold on. Back up a second. So you're like, I'm
Okay.
going to avoid the meat. And
Yeah.
Alan's like, I'm a man. I'll be fine.
He's like, I'll be all right.
So he's like, bring on the meat.
Yeah.
Which in Greece is going to be lamb, chicken, beef, pretty much.
Yeah,
Fish.
pork. They had quite a lot of pork.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't think either of us ate the fish because it always looked rank. But yeah.
And then there's going to be rice, lettuce, tomatoes, feta, olives, pretty much, right?
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
bread.
They always had a like meat for spaghetti bolognese and pasta. Just sitting there.
Want to eat what I eat at home all the time.
Yeah, but I kind of wish I did.
Maybe it would have been okay.
Should have just stuck to the chips. So yeah, I think it was on the Tuesday or the Wednesday night. We decided to go out for dinner down at the seafront, and there are a few restaurants down there. And I was feeling a bit weird, like, I didn't feel sick or anything. I just felt like a bit off, and my belly felt weird, and I was like super bloated, but like at the top, you know.
Yeah.
So it feels a bit weird, but like, oh, maybe I've got a load of, wind, need to fart a few times. It'll be all right.
Yep.
Ended up eating a massive dinner. Had their moussaka, which I really wanted to try because it's native to there. And some proper Greek halloumi, which was very nice.
Oh, I bet. Was it on fire?
No.
They didn't do the fire kind? Saganaki? Oh, that's too bad.
And yeah, so by the end of the meal, I was just feeling a bit dodge. So I was like, can we go back to the hotel? Like, I'm going to go back to the room. We went back to the room. I then proceeded to need to vomit, basically.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
I went to the bathroom and just projectile vomited.
Oh no, and moussaka
everything.
Too.
I know. It just fucking went out of me, like, honestly. It was
like
just...
Exorcist style.
Yeah.
God.
Felt a bit better after that, but then tummy's still feeling a bit weird. So I went to the toilet and just... Well...
irrigated your colon.
Yeah, I'll say it this way. Alan thought I was having a wee. But it went on for a long time. You
peed out your butt.
I peed out my butt, yeah.
Yeah, sorry to be gross, everyone, but it happens to the best of us.
I came out and he was like, was that a wee? I was like, oh no.
I was like, I don't want to talk about it.
No. I would not go in there for a while, okay? And so then, from then on, sort of proceeded to shit water for like 24 hours, I think it was. And not only that, I shat my pants twice.
No.
Yeah.
How many
So
days did
I
you
had
have
no
left?
control.
Well, of course.
Like
It just
literally,
is leaking out.
I we were in bed and I woke up and just immediately shat. Like I couldn't. There was nothing I could do about it.
Now,
Involuntary shitting.
I feel like this is the thing that you're like, and then I knew that he was the one because he gently changed my diaper. It was like, it's fine.
well, well, the problem is he was asleep and I didn't want to wake him up.
Mm-hmm.
So I just sort of like had to cover it
Threw
and
it
put
out
a
the window.
towel over it. Yeah. Just like, okay, I'm
God.
gonna. But I told him in the morning and he was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, oh, you do
No.
love me.
Oh boy.
So yeah, that I sort of started feeling a bit better after like 24 hours. And then the day after that, Alan then got food poisoning and was vomiting and shitting for about 4 days, and like still was pretty ill when we left.
Mm-mm.
Um,
So the entire time, were you just like in your hotel room? One of you was shitting your brains out and vomiting, and the other was like,
Pretty much, yeah, from like Wednesday
oh
onwards,
my
Tuesday or
God,
Wednesday onwards.
that sucks.
Yeah.
So what do you think you got it from?
I don't know. I mean, mine was obviously more gastro
Yeah.
related because
Mhm.
after I threw up that one time, I wasn't sick again. It was just the
I mean,
liquid shit.
it's the same thing. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
sometimes you get lucky and it only comes out of one, and sometimes you aren't lucky and you're riding the double-headed dragon, as they say.
Yeah. So yeah, that was sort of the end of the holiday. I mean, we had like a boat trip planned to go to this like private island and private beach, and we couldn't do that. We didn't do anything really. I mean, obviously Alan sort of stayed in the hotel room for the last few days, and I just stayed by the pool and would check up on him. But I
Ugh.
mean, got a bit of a tan, lost a bit of weight. Can't complain.
What everyone's dream is on vacation, right?
Yeah.
God.
And then on the way back as well, we had a really late flight. And by this point, we just wanted to fucking go home.
Mhm.
We were like, I'm done. Like, this has been terrible. I just want to go. And obviously, when booking it, I was like, we'll get a really early flight out there and a really late one back to make the most of the holiday.
Yeah.
And so our flight wasn't until like 11:30 at night.
Oh,
And
Jesus.
then we got to the airport and it was delayed by like an hour or an hour and a half. And I was like, no, I just want to leave.
Yeah. So in hindsight, remember, kids, when you're leaving, you want to leave with minimal amount of having to wait around at the airport and have no place to go. So you time it with when you have to check out of wherever you're at
Yes.
in your flight.
Yes. So I even ended up paying for a late checkout at the hotel because I was like,
Yeah, you're going to want that extra
Alan's
time.
still puking and
Oh, you did
shitting.
it
So,
after. Okay. Ugh.
yeah. Yeah. So that was my wonderful
Oh,
first
that
abroad
sucked.
holiday in 5 years. And yeah.
I wondered why you were so
Yeah.
silent. I didn't expect to actually hear from you that much, but I was like, should I? Like, I don't want to interrupt and be like, tell me how it's going, but I haven't even gotten a picture really, other than the first one she sent me. And
Yeah.
then when I kind of had a safe assumption that you were back and was like, are you alive? And you're like, no, we'll tell you about it on the podcast. Oh no.
Oh, shit.
And it didn't occur to me, like, maybe you guys got sick. I was like, someone tried to abduct you, or like something caught on fire, or like, I don't like it rained. I don't know. But I can't imagine anything worse when having food poisoning. A, not being in my own house, and B, having to
Mhm.
get on a plane. I remember once when I was flying home and maybe had food poisoning, but basically, like, and for the most part, it kind of like all of the worst had passed. But I was like,
Mm.
what's going to happen when you're on your plane is you're going to need to go to the bathroom and you're not going to be able to because
Yeah.
line, seatbelt signs on, and you're going to shit your pants on the plane.
Yeah.
So, really horrible.
Oh, yeah.
That's too
And the mad
bad.
thing is as well is like usually I take about literally 50 pairs of pants.
Yeah, and you didn't this time.
I didn't this time. I was quite conservative with my pants. and I shat in 2 of them. So.
And it was in a hotel, not like an Airbnb that maybe had a washer.
No, I had to use the shower to
Oh God.
God.
That's like for the I think for the ages of worst vacations I've heard. I mean, you hear about like going to not trying to stereotype here, but going to like an Asian country or something, and
Yeah, because you have like Delhi Belly and
yeah, or
things like
anywhere
that,
where it's
don't
like
you?
you're not used to the food, the water, and then
Mm.
I think it was someone that we mutually know who lives in England where a couple went, and it's like, but they're staying on a beach in like a hut, and like there's a bucket, and someone's not doing well, and they're just
Oh,
I'm taking the
no.
bucket for a while. Ugh.
Oh, dear.
Oh, I'm sorry. You guys need to have a do-over.
Yeah. By the end, we were just like, why didn't we go to Wales?
Blah. Well, I'm still jealous because I want to go to Greece one day, but that's about where the jealousy ends. Is just that you've been there. Because the rest I don't know. I would not want that. So
No, I wouldn't wish that upon anyone.
yikes. It
There you
just
go.
sucks because you guys heard other people were getting sick, and so it's like, okay, something about this hotel is fucking something up here, and it's just like
Mhm.
there's nothing you can do. Like in America, you're supposed to, or at least in Minnesota, you're supposed to like report when you believe you have food poisoning and where you got it from, so that it can be investigated. You know?
Yeah, that's it. And I have complained to the hotel or the holiday company who then referred it to the hotel. They said you need to get a pathogen test to prove it was food poisoning. And
When are you gonna
we
do
need
that?
to see the
You're under.
incident report of when you reported it to the hotel. And I mean, we told 2 different receptionists and they never offered
Yeah.
to give us an incident report.
Show 'em your
So I just
pants.
wrote back and was like, well, this is it. I wrote back and was like, can't do that. NHS is overrun. I can't just go and get a pathogen test. And I'm better now. So it's pointless.
Mhm.
Um, and we weren't offered an incident report despite telling a few of the staff members at the hotel. However, if you would like to go to room 233, you could probably check the mattress where my shit stains are from when I shat myself during the night.
And literally everyone else who was there during this time frame who either heard of or was sick.
Yeah,
Dumb.
they must have had a few complaints.
I bet they
think.
did. Oh well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, never mind.
Hey, welcome back.
Thank you.
Was your dog glad to see you?
Yes, she was really happy to see me,
Excellent.
and that was nice.
Excellent.
She's currently asleep next to me.
Oh.
Yeah,
Hi, Jess.
follows me around like a little sheep. Jessie? No, she's dead to the world. You're not dead, are you? No, she's breathing.
Good. Phew.
Oh, have you been up to anything?
No.
No. Okay. We'll move on.
Been occasionally playing video games, trying to go to the gym, enjoying the nice weather, sorta, and working and being otherwise lame. So there's
Oh,
that.
good.
That's it. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I like it when you're lame, so.
Makes you feel better about yourself. I got it.
Yeah.
Yep. I
All right.
am trying to even think if I have even remotely anything interesting to tell you. Hmm.
Think.
Well, one of the video games I played was called Little Kitty Big City, and that was pretty fun.
Are you a little kitty in
A
a
little
big city?
kitty in a big city just wreaking havoc all over the city trying to get home.
Well, that sounds fun.
It was pretty fun. Shout out to Taylor for letting me know it exists.
Thanks for the rec.
Yep. And I mean, I guess as far as it's, it's fully summer here and so hot, and we have, our patio shit set up. So been enjoying being outside. I have a trip planned at the end of the month. I'm going to go visit Lauren.
Ooh.
So that's exciting. And really, that's about it, though. So
At least you've got some nice weather, because ours is just very average here. Sort of sunny in the morning, and then it just gets cloudy and shit.
Is it at least kind of like warm?
Not really.
Oh, that's too bad. Well,
It is when the sun comes out.
yeah.
And you can feel the sun warmth on your face. Very
Mhm.
nice. But no, it's not. It's not very warm at all. No.
Well, come over here if you wanna sweat while you're sitting inside an air conditioning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds
Doesn't
nice.
it? Yeah. Um, it's Pride Month too, I guess, and
Mm.
I'm sad I'm gonna be missing the Pride festivities this month because I will be in Maine when it happens. Usually it's like kind of always really close to my birthday, but I think this year is odd and also my birthday's in the middle of the week, so it's like the last I was expecting it to be the weekend before my birthday. It is not. So bummer.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's annoying.
it is. I wish that the celebration that is nothing to do with me, nor is it catered to me, would cater to me a little bit more.
Mm. How fucking dare they?
I know. Thanks,
Mm.
guys and gals.
Terrible. Right. Well, I think we mentioned this on our last full episode. We've actually had a little listener write in to tell us a little story.
Been
Are
saving
you
it
ready?
for this moment.
We have. We've been sitting on it, saving it.
And I have not read it.
Well done.
So it's going to be a really fun experience for me, I think.
Yeah, this should be good. Okay. So, hello, ladies.
Hi.
I've been exploring the world of online dating for a while now. We all know the hardships of online dating, the ghosting, dating politics,
Mm-hmm.
everyone's favourite. Oh, and everyone's favourite, sorry, the unsolicited dick pic.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine my delight when I found myself chatting to a lovely, like-minded guy that knew how to hold a conversation beyond what are you looking for and do you want a shag?
Do you want to see my penis?
I'll send you a picture. So things were going well. Paragraphs were being exchanged, and this continued for about 2 weeks. He asked if we could chat on the phone, and after some initial hesitation, I decided to put on my brave girl pants and chat with this guy on the phone. That is brave.
Mm-hmm. Phone calls are awkward
Yeah, I
for
hate phone calls. Even with people I know.
yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of like more specific to our generation, but no, just send me a text.
Yeah, we're millennials. Fuck off. Okay. It was pretty evident that we were both nervous, but conversation flowed. And for a second, I thought, we might be onto a good one here.
Ooh.
Then came out the pour of red flags.
No. Okay, let's hear him.
So this dude goes in strong with his anti-vax views and a very bold, wasn't COVID, just basically a cold anyway.
Okay.
Bear in mind, I sit very firmly in the vulnerable category, so I'm sure you know which side of the fence I sit on.
Sure
I
do.
managed to brush over this one with a very understanding mindset that it's each their own on things like this. So we continue, and I'm quickly learning he is a pro at bringing the conversation back round to him and his interests, all the while not really giving a shit about any of mine. We spent a fair amount of this hour-long conversation talking about his new employee that isn't learning anything, only for me to establish that's because he isn't being taught anything by this guy. And somehow this is still the fault of the new untrained employee. But the final straw for me is when he tells me about putting his kitten in timeout.
Okay, so this is a phone call still.
Yep.
And he's running the gamut of anti-vax, anti-COVID to
Mhm.
shit talking his new employee in a way that is very clear that he's a bad boss, to then moving to how I discipline my kitten.
Yep.
Oh my god. Okay.
So he tells me about putting his kitten in timeout because he's, in quotes, being an absolute dickhead.
That's
In
the best
actual
part about kittens, though.
yeah, that's it. So she goes on to say, in actual fact, it turns out the kitten was just doing kitten shit, like playing.
Yeah.
How does timeout with a kitten work, I hear you ask? Well, it works because he puts the kitten up on a shelf so high that it can't jump down without fear of broken legs.
Oh. Oh. But it's still gonna try because they're so
I know!
dumb. So I just basically put it on a tower.
It's like putting a toddler on a roof.
Yeah. And now you
Being
stay
like,
up
"All right,
there.
well."
Oh my God.
Bellend.
What a dick.
Yeah. Clearly, I don't hide my disgust well, and when asked if he was being a knob, I couldn't help but highlight that it's likely to be ineffective and / it's animal abuse. Safe to say, I made my excuses to leave the conversation and swiftly ended this the following day, much to his disgust. How do I even find these men? Any help or advice for my tragic dating life would be much appreciated. Love your work always.
Ugh. Well, I will say, like, that was like the appropriate vetting process.
Yes. Imagine if, like, she'd been stuck in an actual room with this guy.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm gonna go on a date to your house, like, which people do, and I'm no shame there, but like then that's even harder to extricate yourself from.
Mm,
And I mean, a phone call just it leaves kind of a nice separation still. So
yeah.
I think you did everything right. And unfortunately you can't really know until you know, you know?
Mm, that's it. At least you dodged that bullet, you know?
I feel bad for that kitten.
So do I. Should we report it?
Yeah. I guess I also want to know, like, well, you could start, how do you discipline your
Yeah. Okay, so next date, this will be your opening line. How do you discipline your pets?
or just like thoughts on disciplining pets?
Yeah.
Does it make sense? If so, under what circumstances? Because, right, I suppose you have a dog chewing a shoe. You take corrective measures so the dog doesn't chew the shoe anymore. Whether we want to call that discipline or redirection, fine, right?
Hmm.
But you could find out, yeah, my kitten is being a kitten, but it annoys me, and so I like to stick it in the toilet and flush. That'll teach it. That's
I just
going to
give
be
it
a
a
no.
quick waterboarding and then it's fine.
Yeah, that'll be a no. Versus if I give my kitten lots of enrichment activities and toys to play with so that it doesn't play with things it shouldn't and it
Yes.
feels entertained.
Mm. It does astound me how many people get kittens and puppies and, like,
Don't know what to do.
get pissed off that they act like kittens and puppies.
Yeah.
It's like, what did you expect?
I expected this one to be special and smart and to know better.
I thought it would be born fully trained, actually.
In that I wouldn't have to do anything.
Mm. It wouldn't destroy my house, which they do, unfortunately, sometimes.
I mean, he can't even teach his employee how to be an employee, so it's
Mm.
no wonder his kitten is so naughty.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe COVID fucked with your brain, mate. So,
Most certainly did, I think. And
yeah.
probably some other things in your life considering you have those viewpoints, but feel your pain, dear listener. But I will say, like, it sounds like you've got kind of the appropriate process in place so that you're not having to like physically escape scenarios or put yourself at risk because you're opening yourself up to someone without knowing them that well. Keep doing what you're doing, and you can, I guess, take each time as a lesson and learn from it. But I do think putting something in your profile about animal discipline might be helpful. I don't
And keep going. There's
know.
someone out there for you.
Mm-hmm.
You just haven't met them yet. Just
Haven't met you yet.
Yep.
Thanks for the write in. Send us more if you got more, if you know about that kitten or
Yeah, if you could, that'd be good. And just give us an update on your love life, you know? We want to hear all about it.
yeah.
We love to hear it, baby.
We love to hear it, baby.
Bye-bye.
All right.
I asked you about this the other day. Have you seen Dancing with the Devil yet?
Mm-mm. And I know I said I haven't seen it, but I've seen it, and then that was the end of the conversation.
That was that.
Yeah. So I have seen it on Netflix as a thing, but I maybe even watched a little bit of like the trailer. Looks freaky. Why have you watched it?
Yeah.
Is it
And I
freaky?
think you'll love it.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks so scary.
It's not really scary.
Creepy?
It's culty.
Okay. Okay.
And it's also like you're a TikToker, aren't you? You're on TikTok.
Well, I have seen TikToks and I have the app, but I do not TikTok myself. If
You
that
are
makes sense.
yes, you're a viewer.
Yes. Yes.
So you will have seen these videos where it's like these people dancing. And it's like always the same, like guy and girl.
I haven't seen those.
Sorry, listeners, I'm just showing her a little video.
Okay.
Anyway, so it's like
Not
it's
super
essentially
impressive dance moves. They're pretty basic.
no, I mean some of them are good, but
Okay.
it's essentially like a dance cult. And
Oh.
yeah, it starts from like the perspective of one of the girls in it, like with her family and her sister, and how she's like
So it's a
disappeared into this like it's
true
like a
story?
yeah, and it's happening like right now. It's get into it, you'll love it.
Okay. Noted. Thank you. Yeah. All right. The insane true story behind
Mm,
Netflix's Dancing for the Devil. Okay. Hmm.
yeah,
I wonder if I'm thinking of something else that's creepy that maybe has something to do with devilhood.
maybe.
There's something about like a. I'll have to figure it out if it's different than that. 'Cause this doesn't seem creepy. Just seems kind of sad and interesting.
Yeah, and it is like there's heartbreaking moments in it as well, but it's also like fuck you to surprise, surprise, the guy running it.
Of course. Um, I did watch something recently that was pretty good.
Naked Attraction.
Yes, always. That's every day. Um, I maybe it's no, it's not that. Okay. It's called Under the Bridge, and it's on
Okay.
Hulu, which I don't think you guys have here, but I think you can get Hulu stuff on a different streaming service.
Yeah, possibly.
But it's about these kids in Canada who basically just like murder a girl, and it's
Oh.
based on true story, and it's just like really horrible. Like this girl really wanted to fit in, and these kids all like were it's in the 90s, and like they all thought they were rough gangsters, and like it's just sad because like it's true, and it's based on a book by a journalist who either is from there and or went back to like report on it. And so the Hulu series is like kind of fictionalized but overall based on her book and what happened. And it's
Right.
just really sad. And like one of the two, like a bunch of kids were convicted, but two were actually convicted for murder. One was a 16-year-old boy who really didn't know her but was just kind of at the time there at the time, and kind of was like bad upbringing, drunk, and just was kind of like, yeah, whatever, I'll get in on this. They all basically attacked her and beat her up, but then this one
Fucking hell.
girl and then this guy eventually like went back. And so the girl was one who was like, I think, primarily responsible for her death. And she's still in prison because she is horrible. And
Yeah.
I
Sounds
think
it.
I think she's gotten let out on parole a few times and is back and has managed to have like two kids while she was out on parole and stuff. But she can't even like, she still was denying it up until recently. Whereas the boy ended up doing a bunch of restorative stuff in prison, and even the parents of this girl forgave him and advocated for
Oh,
his release.
really?
Yeah, so there was kind of like that
Wow.
bright spot. But I just like this girl was such a piece of work, and just like
Just a major
yeah.
cunt.
And even like the actress who played her, like I couldn't differentiate between her and the actual human that she was portraying, and I was just like
Oh, really?
horrible. Just so
Mm,
hard to watch. So I recommend that. I mean, it's a difficult, tough, like kind of dark
heavy.
drama. Yeah, but
I'll write it down then.
it was interesting.
Under the bridge. I'll check it out
Do it, and I'll
when
check
I'm in a
out
mood to
Dancing
be
for the
depressed.
Devil. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I saw this headline the other day.
Okay.
There's not really much more information, and to be honest, I've not done any further research or looked into it any further.
As
But I
is
just thought it was
standard.
interesting.
Yeah, as a standard for us.
So a baby girl has been abandoned in London, who is full sibling to two previously abandoned babies
Whoa.
who have since been adopted, which means it's the same mum and dad
Mm-hmm.
that are having these kids and then abandoning them for unknown reasons.
Well, they don't want the kids.
They don't want the kids. Well, yeah, we can
Deduce that.
probably make that assumption. Yeah.
Yeah. Where are
Um,
they leaving these kids?
I don't know. London.
Okay.
um, but yeah, it's just a really weird scenario, and like everyone was commenting on it, saying the fact that it's the mother and the father being the same. They could understand if it was the mother who maybe be
Mhm.
getting pregnant by different men,
Mhm.
could be in a bad situation, but it's the same parents.
Mhm.
So a lot of people are saying like it's reminiscent of like a Joseph Fritzl scenario.
Oh. Well, I was just going to say, do we know if these children have any sort of like genetic issues that could mean that mom and dad are related in some way and shouldn't be having kids?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I didn't say, as I said, did not look into it further. I
Oh yeah.
just saw the headline, started reading the comments, and got lost down a little rabbit hole in
Sad.
that.
I mean, on one hand, like I'm glad that they're obviously doing something to make sure that their kids are found when they don't feel like they can be the ones responsible, And I know I don't know how it is in England, but like here, maybe not here. Once upon a time here, I think you could like go leave your kid at a fire station and they would,
Yeah,
yeah, something
or
like
like
that,
at the
or
church.
hospital. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they would your kid would, be taken care of, and I think it's a better option than just like, "Well, I'm gonna put you in a dumpster." Which
Mm,
sometimes happens too. Um, but I would be very curious after, I mean, 3 is it's just like there's other things you can do, right? Have the come like carry the pregnancy full term and, you know, like there's birth control even. So,
yeah.
do you think they're trying to identify the parents at all?
They must be, mustn't they? There must be an investigation into it.
We have worked 24/7 in each of these 3 cases to identify the parents so far and without success. Baby Elsa was found wearing a large dark coat with a light colored scarf or hood around her neck and had oh, she had a little backpack.
Oh,
Oh, and she was an infant, and they left her. She was discovered by a dog walker in Newham Borough on January 18th. Oh, 20.
so sad. I mean, like not the best scenario, but the best scenario is that it's a couple with like really bad mental health issues
Yeah.
that can't look after, or it's some poor woman that's being held captive by a
Oh, God.
wanker.
Yeah, and so the dad is like ditching them, or
Yeah.
someone else is ditching them to help cover. Oh, God. Well, I
Mm,
hope, I hope that's like it's the best case scenario, which is just two people who really didn't feel like there were other options but wanted to make sure their kid was safe and did it kind of poorly, but it worked out. I guess I don't know.
mm.
Oh, she's found in a
It's really
shopping
sad,
bag.
isn't it?
Yeah.
In a shopping bag.
Yeah.
Oh man, it just gets worse. Sorry, I shouldn't have brought this up.
Well, no, I guess when I'm thinking shopping bag, it could be one of those like reusable ones that
Oh
they
yeah, it
used
probably
for,
is. I
like
initially just thought like a
a little
plastic.
plastic bag. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they put her in a coat and also a little backpack, so it feels like they wanted to at least like the intention was for this kid to be found, I think.
Yeah.
Hmm.
God, where I hope they go on to live a
Live.
good life.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
So sad.
So sad.
um, did you hear that, former President Trump got convicted
I did,
of
yeah.
several felonies? Isn't that
Has he gone
interesting?
into? Has he gone to prison yet?
No, he probably
Lock
won't
him
either.
up.
Yeah, I know.
Lock him up.
My God. I saw so many
I
like
just.
old videos of him in like 2016 yelling about Hillary going to jail and shouldn't be able to run for president.
Mm,
And it's just like, oh yeah, like changing your tune now, I bet though.
are there not rules to stop someone with a criminal conviction being president? Like, you think that would be a thing, would you not?
You would think so, but there isn't actually, as far as I know, like if you can't be president if you have a felony or whatever. Um and there's probably reasons why, because I suppose there's felonies, like wrongful, I don't know. We won't go down that rabbit hole. But I think the idea would be like, well, constituents aren't going to pick a person who has that kind of history. And that's what, I think why people don't run for offices is because it's like, no, because they're going to use my past whatever against me. So,
Yeah.
and I don't really want to go through that. And so, but unfortunately in this case, I don't think that's going to be a barrier for him.
No, people don't seem to really care, do they?
No, not at all. In fact, they're probably like, yeah, I like him more now.
Yeah, probably.
I love that he's got 34 felony convictions.
He's got so much street cred.
Yep. He's just like Martha Stewart. Everyone loves her.
Oh, God.
Yeah, just like every day, it's just something new and worse. And it's just like, oh, well, I guess if we thought yesterday was okay, today's going to be okay. Today's fine too.
Yeah, when we're moving to Finland?
Well, I'm still working on my application, but it should be done soon. What about you?
Cool. Yeah, mine's just gone through the postal service.
Oh, okay, I better get mine in the mail then.
Yeah.
Well, should we do a Am I the asshole? You know you are, baby.
Baby.
We'll work on that. We're just a little rusty.
I thought it was quite tuneful, actually.
I mean, you tell me, Miss Expert Songstress.
All right, I enjoyed this one. I hope you do too.
I'm sure it will. You know me well.
Okay. Am I the arsehole for not warning my wife about my arse rag?
Say that one more time for me.
Am I the arsehole for not warning my wife about my arse rag?
All right, let's go.
Let's dive in. Okay, context. My wife is weird about butt stuff. I'm not talking sexual butt stuff. That's obviously personal, but up to the individual. I mean her unwillingness to acknowledge that anything comes out of butts or that people even have buttholes.
I think it's very clear by even this episode in particular that you and I absolutely refuse to talk about or acknowledge anything comes out of our buttholes.
I will not talk about that. It's way off limits.
Okay. So people like her exist in the world. I think even once upon a time, I was probably one of those people.
Oh, hey,
at least when it comes to like, I don't want my boyfriend to hear me go to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of thing,
I think all women are a bit like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we bought our house, I wanted to install a bidet.
A bidet.
A bidet. We call them
French.
bidets, but I know you say bidet. Yeah.
Well, it's French.
I know.
You guys love French.
We're so close to the French. So I wanted to install a bidet, but my wife was against it. I told her that she doesn't have to use it, but she said just seeing it would gross her out.
I will instantly vomit if I lay thine eyes upon this bidet.
I mentioned not feeling clean from just wiping with paper, and she didn't understand. Not everyone has a naturally hairless arsehole and barely requires wiping. She asked if I could find an alternative. I said I could use wet wipes, but they're not flushable. None of them are, by the way.
Yeah, so have a garbage can.
Yeah, so they'd have to go in the trash. She didn't like the idea of poopy things in the trash can and told me to figure something else out.
I guess I'll just take a shower every time I shit.
Some people do that, you know.
Yes, and fine, but like holy water bill.
Yeah, fucking hell. So she didn't like the idea of poopy things in the trash can and told me to figure something else out that she didn't have to know about. So onto my arse rag. I took an old towel, tore it up, and installed a discreet hook behind the toilet to hang the rag. It's completely hidden. And the way our bathroom is set up, we only have one. The sink is right next to the toilet. So I'm able to wet the rag, clean up, wash it in the sink, and hang it back up. I swap it out a couple of times a week. Gross, maybe. But I figured that's my business since my wife did not want to hear about my butthole cleaning habits.
Okay.
Recently, my wife and I were showering together and she forgot to bring in a washcloth for herself.
No. Sorry.
I don't use one. I use a sisal pouch with bar soap.
Hold on. How's that spelled?
Sisal.
I need to know what this is.
Yeah, me too.
Oh. Clever. It's like a little loofah that you
Oh,
put over
that is
it.
clever.
Yeah, it makes your sofa loofah. Nice.
It's like a little bag. You pop the soap in.
Mhm.
Lovely jubbly. Great idea. I'm going to get one. Where was I?
Sissel pouch.
Sisal pouch. Oh yeah, okay. I offered to hop out and grab her a washcloth, but she said, "No, don't worry, I'll just use yours," and reached for my arse rag.
I thought you couldn't see it, sir.
Very good point, Catherine. Well done. I said, "You don't want to use that." She asked me why. I said, "Just trust me," and she kept pushing. So I came clean about my arse rag. She was horrified, started dry heaving and kicking me out of the shower. Apparently, she'd been using it as a washcloth for years whenever she forgot hers, which is often.
Oh my God. And I
Oh
bet
dear.
like face, armpits, boobs, toe. Okay. Yep. Her own butt.
Oh man. Okay. So apparently she'd been using it as a washcloth for years whenever she forgot hers, which is often. What I don't get is how she thought it was my washcloth because A, it's hidden behind the frickin' toilet, and B, she knows I don't use a washcloth. We got into an argument. From my perspective, it was obvious that my arse rag wasn't a washcloth. All bets are off when you use someone else's shit without asking, and her butthole hang up is interfering with my personal hygiene. From her perspective, I violated a clear boundary she set years ago, and I'm just an overall gross person. I did apologise, but I was upset, and my apology wasn't really sincere. I'm sleeping on the couch right now to try and give her some space, but I'd like to know if I owe her a more sincere apology over this arse rag fiasco rather. I'm really not sure, and her reaction has me thinking that maybe I am disgusting and that I'm lacking perspective to see it. I also don't think her butthole aversion is normal, and it's the main reason I ended up resorting to the arse rag solution in the first place and not telling her about it. Am I the asshole?
No. Uh, you you have an asshole that might need some special attention. I can't get over the fact that like he went to great measures to hide this thing behind the toilet and thought that like it was not visible, and she found it and was like, this washcloth in this unusual space is not
For my
sus,
face.
not sus at all, and I'm gonna use it. Like that in and of
Yeah.
itself blows my fucking mind. And if she's so disgusted by like that sort of thing, I am surprised that she'd be willing to use someone else's
Yeah.
washcloth.
Especially one that's hanging behind the toilet.
Right. It's bizarre. It makes no sense.
No.
And like, I'm sorry, if I found that washcloth, my first question would be, babe, why is there a washcloth hanging hidden behind the toilet?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my butt rag. Okay. But like, I do think there is something like he's not disgusting. He's trying very hard to like take care of his hygiene
And not
needs.
be disgusting.
Yeah, and she basically is like, you can't do anything that normal people who also want to take care of their bathroom needs do. And it
Mm.
resorted to this really kind of bizarre workaround that ultimately then led her to be in this mess. And like, sure, okay, bidets are, I've seen the ones that you can put on your toilet. They're not super cute. Fine. I get that she maybe is wanting to draw the line there, but like the toilet wipes, fine. Get a trash bin in your bathroom that has a lid on it so you don't have to see
Mm.
it then. But because to me, that's like makes
And make him clean it out.
yeah, like that makes the most sense to me. And but also like, gal, you can't really. I don't think you can kind of like dictate people's bathroom needs.
No, I agree. They could have also got one of those fancy Japanese toilets where everything's like installed and you
Yeah.
can shove perfume up your ass and it cleans you and dries you and
Hmm.
plays music while you poop.
I suspect that they maybe would have gone that route if money wasn't a factor. Or I've
Yeah,
seen those
probably.
before. They're really big. The way they described their bathroom it makes me think of one of the ones in our house where it's like toilet is really right next to the sink. It's kind of a small one, and then the shower is right across from it.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if even like it would be difficult to put a toilet like that in that
Yeah, fair.
bathroom. But I'm
But
if
they had
you
enough
could,
space for a bidet.
well, because the bidet is really just like an attachment that goes under the seat and has like somehow you hook it up into your tank so that it can squirt water out. It goes on the
Oh.
toilet rather than a separate unit.
I've never seen a bidet like that. We have like a separate.
Yeah. Well, that's usually what they are. They're like a separate
Yeah.
little baby toilet, right?
Yeah.
No,
Little
but you
baby
can
toilet.
get ones that you can like attach to your current toilet and it's just like a little device that kind of comes out from under the lid.
Clever.
Yeah.
Clever. Yeah, I mean, how was he meant to warn her about something that
She
he
specifically said
wasn't
I don't.
allowed to talk about?
Yep.
So I don't think you're the asshole, sir.
No, 100%
I
not.
think you were just trying to clean your asshole.
Yes, and she is the asshole and maybe got a little bit of what's coming to her because of that. Because it
Calm as a
just
bitch.
there's no world where I would be like, "What is this? Oh, no matter. I'm just gonna use it to clean myself."
Yeah.
That is so
And
bizarre.
yeah, I don't understand. And like just
Why wouldn't she just use a sisal bag with the soap in it?
yeah,
That would make
and
more
also
sense.
like if you have your own washcloth, why are you taking it in and out of the bathroom? Just leave it in the fucking bathroom.
Yeah, it does sound a little bit like they have like little shower caddies that they take their stuff in.
Yeah.
Or
Like the
they live in a dorm.
ah,
That's the
we've
truth.
got to the bottom of it.
Yep. Oh no, what do the comments say? I'm very curious.
um Not the asshole. They're sort of giving him suggestions. Uh, Someone's saying, yeah, you should get a bidet. It's much more hygienic. This woman has suggested that bidets are very good for when you have a period.
So convince your wife to agree because of menstruation needs.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Hold on, I'm on one of those really long comment things where it's just loads of people talking
Oh, like the thread.
crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone said, okay, here's the issue with this issue she has. Can she wipe her own ass? If she can, then her aversion is purely control of others.
Mm-hmm.
A bidet would allow her not to have to wipe her own ass, as it's way more hygienic. Not to mention, you can get the Tushy Electric, which also does front and back and heats the water and dries you.
Oh, well.
Exciting. You respected her boundaries by finding a solution and didn't tell her, which is what she asked. She violated your boundaries by using your hygiene item, i.e., butt rag, even if it was for your face, which I agree. Why would you hide it behind a toilet? She chose to use it, which is cross contamination. Not to mention, if she uses makeup, she's now leaving product on your hygiene item. Stand your ground. Set the terms you followed. She set the terms, you followed.
Uh-huh.
She chose to ignore your boundaries and use your item without your permission. She's only got herself to blame. She's also needs to go to counselling for her projecting her issues onto others. Seriously, this is unhealthy and screams control versus actual aversion.
Nailed
Yes,
it.
madam.
Yep, nailed it.
Yeah, totes agree.
I did enjoy that one. Also, just like it just really kind of had a little story in my head. I imagined as you told me about it. I thought about the cutting up the towels and the little hook, like a little command strip hook behind the toilet, and he just had his little thing and he hung it. And he's on the toilet reaching around for it and then like washing it, and then Ugh, which is like, that's a kind of some extreme shit there too. I would be really annoyed if that's what I had to do.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
So would
I'll
I.
empty the garbage. I will make sure there's a lid on it. I will put
Yeah.
it in the little thing so you don't have to look at it. We can have a separate garbage that you can use, and I'll have a little closed bucket for my wet wipes.
But I'm also assuming she puts her
Bloody
period
tampons. Yeah.
products in the toilet, in the trash. So why
That's
can't he put his
different. That's not
poo
poo.
wipes in there?
I don't know. This is someone who I'm guessing some of the stems from probably how she was brought up too. But
Yeah.
it is, that person had a point. Like, does she not wipe her own butt?
Yeah. We all
So
do, guys. I've got news for you.
I mean, I'd hope so anyway.
Yeah.
I pay
Well,
someone
there
to
you
do
have it.
mine.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Well, you've got one of those arse cleaners.
Yeah. Yep. Very nice. His name's Roger.
I was gonna say Roger.
Because that is the most natural name for a butt wiper. Of course.
Duh. It's the first choice.
Yeah, that's in fact when you, I think, put a little listing out for it's in need of Roger a butt wiper.
Oh, fucking brilliant. Well, there you have it. Not the arsehole.
Nope.
She needs to lighten up.
Yep. Well, it felt good getting back into the swing of things. How about for you?
Yes, I've rather enjoyed our chat, although it was bum heavy, which I'm very sorry about, listeners.
Bum heavy and yes, poop
poo
heavy.
heavy.
And yeah. All right. Well,
that's life.
It is. Happens. See, we didn't slag off men that much.
Oh, if anything, we slagged off women.
Yeah. Well, it was good to see you, and we will be back again.
Back once again for the Renegade Master, D4 Damager, power to the people.
What? No, seriously, what?
What?
But until next time, you can find us on all of our usual haunts, which is Instagram, Twitter/X, TikTok, other things. TSYB Pod at TSYB Pod, or send in your poo horror stories or your horrible dates or other weird shit that's happened to you. At talkshitttous@gmail.com. What? World Star.
And on that note, I bid you farewell.
And peace be with you.
Peace be with you. Au revoir.
Goodbye.
Adios. Goodbye.
We out.
Bye.